Hello guys, si Kailangan ulit ito at welcome sa episode 47 ng larutan ng Shadowrun Hong Kong Extended Edition. So, tuloy natin game natin. Nung huling episode guys, na-trigger na rin natin yung importanteng dialogue para kay Gobbet. Kaya lang, hindi pa natin alam kung makukuha natin yung yung run. So, kailangan pa natin ng isang run na gamit siya para ma-trigger na ng tuluyan yung yung event niya. Gawin natin yung susunod na available na Shadowrun. Wag lang yung deckcon. So yun ang dalawang ihuli natin, yung deckcon tsaka yung sa kanya. Hindi ko naman babasahin to, ano na eh. Tagal lang, pagka wala ang ginagawa, medyo matagal lang mag-load. Ayan, ito na. Okay. Subukan natin kasapin si Isabel. Any thoughts about that last run? Kasi ayaw pa rin niya. Okay. Subukan natin. Labas tayo sandali. Wala pa eh. Teka. Check ko muna yung gear. At least meron na akong level. Benta ko yung level 2. Hanap ako ng level 3. Ito, asakin natin ito. Yung MV Naichi 2 na. Bili muna tayo ng pasok mo tayo Chrome Alley. Tingin tayo kung may bago ng kung may level 3 na medikit. Ambrose, may level 3 ka? At least meron na siya nito. Benta ko yung benta ko yung gold ko. Bili ko nitong itong platinum. Mas maganda yan eh. Okay. Ibibenta ko tong benta ko yung dalawang level 2. Okay, ilagay ko sa ilagay ko sa stash. Sell items. Ito benta ko to. To, tsaka to. Tapos bili tayo ng bili tayo ng isa nito tsaka to. Bili tayo ng dalawa nun. Tapos lagyan natin dito sa stash. Pasa natin sa characters natin ng nangangailangan. Salamat. Technically wala na tayong gold. 30 na naman yung new yan natin. Wala na mabibilang bagong weapon kasi. At least yung cyber deck tsaka armor ayos na. So, sige, gawin natin yung gawin natin yung isang mission. Saan siya? Ito dito. Save muna natin. Okay, teka. Balik tayo sa headquarters. Tingnan natin kung umalis na si Gobbet. Kung hindi pa, di okay lang. Dito pa rin. So, hindi pa nagtitrigger. Hey, pal. She puts her hands on her hips, sending madness scurrying. Are you ready for your next lesson? Tapusin na nga. Pwede pala ituloy eh. Sige. Absolutely. Hit me with it. No offense, but your last lesson was kind of terrible. In a bit, I wanted to ask you about something else first. I was hoping that we were done with that. Sige, tanongin natin siya. And perhaps about that last run. It always surprises me how much corporations will pay to screw up a competitor's feng shui. Hell, they'll even take each other to court over architecture that blocks key. It has real impact though. A little shift here and there might not seem like much, but even fractions of a penny lost on their stock value is millions. Gobbet shrugs, pursing her lips. I could see us change the flow of ki in that building, but I still have no idea how to make it work for me. You need a real specialist for that, like a Taoist priest or something. Based on what I could see, though, I think Waxing's fortunes will wane at least for the time being. They'll fix what we broke eventually, but until then, there may be a rash of stubbed toes. So what else did you want to chat about? I'm ready for my next lesson. Right, good. Kasi kailangan tapusin natin 'to, eh. Sabi dun sa sinusundan kong guide, kailangan lahat ng information makuha natin sa kanya, eh. This one is about people like Auntie Cheng and why we need them. There there won't be a Q&A session after this story, but I want you to listen up. Listen up. It's important. Yeah, I get it. Go on. I'm all ears. All right. So here's the upfront lesson. Fixers are important. You can't just go to a Johnson yourself and get a job. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't. It's a bad idea all around. You wanna tell me why? Okay, go on. If you can find your own work, why even bother with a fixer? You're giving someone a cut of your profits for no reason. Okay, ito na. Ito na lang. Okay, go on. The reason why it's a bad idea to cut people like Auntie Cheng out is because you need someone to vet your clients. That's important. It protects the whole team. She takes in a breath, lets it out slowly. You. You remember the lesson from last time? The one about Sui and the shiny object. Yeah? How could I forget? To be honest, I wasn't paying attention. Yeah. Yeah? Well, after the run was over, we went back to the sinking ship for some R&R. Sui had told us that the client would be sending a boat to collect the shiny object in the morning. All that we had to do was keep the thing safe until handoff. We were in a celebratory mood. We'd killed an evil wizard and stolen a priceless artifact. A good night's work by anyone's standards. Honu and Egret got good and drunk in record time. Sui went back to his cabin with the shiny object to I don't know, stare at it for a while or something. I retired to my cabin and crashed out. It's been a long night. I remember waking up to sounds, yelling maybe. I was groggy and they were far away. I couldn't quite make them out. The clock said 4:30 a.m. People were always partying on the raft, playing loud music, shooting off fireworks, that kind of thing. So loud noises early in the morning weren't unusual, but something felt off somehow. Off? How so? I used to get that every now and again in the Barrens. I learned to listen to it. That would be your subconscious trying to warn you of something. Ato na lang. It's hard to describe. A queasy feeling in the pit of my stomach, and an elevated heartbeat, rapid, shallow breaths. It was a lot like a panic attack, really, not the kind of thing that you can sleep through. So I got up to investigate if something was wrong. I wanted to know, and if it wasn't, I figured that I might as well get in on the party. I stepped out into the hallway and my foot slipped. I came down hard, landed on my ass, and found myself sitting in a pool of blood. Ugh, that's not good. She shakes her head, grimacing. No, it was pretty bad. So it was pretty obvious by this point that something had gone horribly wrong. My first thought was that the shiny object might have, I don't know, unleashed something. After what I saw it do in that warehouse, I wouldn't have been surprised. I shook that off pretty quick though. I knew what this was. Our client was playing us. He'd hire us to steal the thing, and rather than paying us for the job, he'd send another team to take it away. Ganon. So what did you do? Is it that jumping to conclusions? I mean, it could have been anything. Given what happened at the warehouse, I'd have assumed that the shiny object was to blame. Ito, sige. Ito na lang. Sure, I get that. It did some scary shit back in that warehouse, but it had also been sitting dormant for a long time before Tsui and I stole it. Anyway, I got up and brushed myself off, and then I beeline for Malvina's cabin. She was the closest thing that the sinking ship had to a leader, and the strongest rat shaman on the raft. Why go to her? Why not head straight to Tsui's cabin? If the raft was under attack, that's probably what I would have done too. Ah, tama. Yeah, seemed like the right thing at in the yeah, seems like the right thing at the time. There was a retrieval team coming for the shiny object, and they were strong enough to handle Tsui while he was holding it. What chance would I had? What chance would I have of stopping them on my own? I figured that it was time to bring out the big guns. Malvina was one whom I could get them to who I could get them from. I uh I passed some pretty bad stuff on my way down to Malvina's cabin. It was old man Xiu Yan's vault all over again. The torn up bodies, the blood soaked floors. I saw people who'd have been cut apart with machetes, scorch marks on the container walls. She bites her lip, grimacing at the unpleasant memories stewing in her head. Deep down in the pit of my gut, I could feel uh, the thrumming vibrations of the shiny object, that heartbeat feeling that I had in the warehouse. It was back and stronger than ever. Whatever that rock was, it was awake. That would be my cue to bail out. I wouldn't have wanted anything to do with that thing. I kind of figured I kind of figured that hanging on to that thing was a bad idea. Did you make it to Malvina's cabin? Asa ito na lang. Yes, I burst through the door, all ready to spread the news, and someone smashed a gun into my face. Pasaway. It was Cadmus, my friend. He jammed the muzzle of his super warhawk into my cheek so hard it hurt. Then grabbed me by the belt with his other hand. I wasn't going anywhere. Just over his shoulder, I saw Malvina. She didn't look amused. Some friends. Note to self, if Heyoy ever comes under attack, don't start knocking down my friends' doors. Did they think that you were in on the attack somehow? Yeah, only it wasn't an attack. Our client had nothing to do with it. Turns out there was no client. Sui had lied to us, and by helping to steal the shiny object, I'd unwittingly given him what he needed to foment ba yun? To foment a mutiny. She paused for a moment, gathers her rats in her hands and lifts them to her shoulders. They scurry over the leather of her coat and disappear into her hair. As it turns out, betrayal hurts, Seattle. Malvina felt it, and I felt it too. Sui had been a friend. I'd I'd just risked my life to save his. Like like 4 hours ago, and he'd tricked me into helping him to do something unthinkable. Why do you think he did it? While all of this over a heap of junk floating in a bay? So what did you do? I'd have killed him for that. Um, ito na lang. So what did you do na lang? What could I do? I didn't have a whole lot of options, and Cadmus was kind of on kind of on edge, like red-faced and screaming. So I opened my mouth and I fast talked my way out of it. I started off by doubling down on my loyalty to Malvina.
Cadmus and the status quo on the sinking ship, s- swearing my undying friendship, undying friendship. You know the drill. I did a good job of it, but they still looked a little iffy. Iffy with a warhawk is bad, so I volunteered to prove myself by stealing the shiny object back from Tsui. That was brave of you. That follows, I guess. I mean, he only had it because of you, right? That was brave of you. I know, right? Not my style at all. But then, I didn't really have a choice. I inadvertently helped to arm the bastard who has who was tearing our friends and neighbors apart. I don't think I could have cleared my name without taking his weapon away again. It was a hell of a night. It was a hell of a night. I don't want to get into too many of the gory details. Friends died. Hell, friends killed. You know? Friends died. Hell, friends killed each other. It was brother against brother. All that jazz. And Tsui's indiscriminate use of the shiny object let a lot of things into the world that shouldn't have been. Did you get a good view of of them this time? So did you wind up stealing the thing back from Tsui? Ito, sige, ito na. Yes, it wasn't easy, but I got it. And how'd you manage that? You wanna elaborate on that? Okay, and na lang. And I took it back to Malvina. She put the thing to better use than Tsui ever did. She took to the thing like she'd grown up using it. We still lost dozens of people, but Tsui's side lost more. Cadmus was critically wounded, but he pulled through. After the skirmish, Malvina held an assembly. She told everyone that there'd be new rules for life on the raft. Anyone who refused to follow them could leave, and if you broke them, you were done. The rules of the sea and all that. After the pronouncement, she turned on the surviving mutineers. Hone was one of them. He'd been in on Tsui's plan the whole time. She didn't kill them, but she did exile them from the sinking ship. And for people in our economic bracket, that was as good as a one-way trip to the walled city. I'd be willing to bet that they're all dead by now. In the wake of Malvina's ultimatum, five survivors left. Five survivors left the sinking ship. I was one of them. Why did you leave? I wouldn't have hung around either. If I just fought to save my home, I wouldn't have picked up and left after the fact. Ito na lang. Why did you leave? I had to go. We may have washed the blood off of the decks, but the energy of the sinking ship had changed. It wasn't the carefree haven I'd love I'd love anymore. And as sensible as Malvina's rules were, I I wasn't up to living under them. We parted on good but sad terms, and as you'd expect, we drifted apart over the years. It's funny, I hadn't even thought of Malvina or the sinking ship in years. Not until I decided to your previous lesson, your, teach you your previous lesson, and it all came flooding back in. She pauses, turns to you. That's the story. It's finished. But I wanna circle back on the reason that I gave you up front. Because it's important. We need Auntie Cheng to bring us work. That's obvious. But we also need her to keep us honest. To be sure that we on the team are playing straight with one another. Auntie Cheng's reputation rides on the legitimacy of the jobs that she brings us. And that, more than anything, is why we need her. If we didn't have Auntie Cheng or someone like her, we'd eventually tear ourselves apart. It happened on the sinking ship. It could happen again in Heioi. So anyway, that's the lesson. If you've got follow-up questions, go ahead and ask them. What did Madrina do with the shiny object? And Sui, what happened to him? Sige, ito, magandang tanong. Well, first she used it to get rid of the things that Sui had let loose. Then she put it away for safekeeping. It's probably still there on the sinking ship, ensconced in some shrine or other, held under lock and key. She should have tossed the thing into the bay. At least she's keeping it safe. Magandang reaction to nga. Yeah, agreed. I didn't like it either. But then she'd already proven that she could handle the thing. And it did help her put down Sui's mutiny. Plus, she's a shaman. We deal with dangerous magic beyond mortal ken on a daily basis. It's not that weird for us. Yeah, but still. Hey, yeah, if you say so. Hey, if you say so. Like I said, I'd had preferred it if she had if she had ditched the thing. But in the end, it wasn't my choice to make. From what little I've heard, she's still in power over there. So I guess that it worked out okay. And Sui, what happened to him? That walking colostomy bag was already dead, eaten by his own monsters after I took the shiny object away. Turns out he wasn't much good at controlling them without it. Her voice fills with grim satisfaction. He didn't even live long enough to watch his mutiny fall. Okay, thanks, Gobbet. You and Seattle, thanks for listening. These lessons are for your benefit, but I think that they help me too. And it's nice to be taken seriously every now and again. No problem, Gobbet. I look forward for the next one. Who says that I take you seriously? I never capped to that. Ito na lang. Her face lights up. Yeah, me too. Now get a move on. I've got Gobbet things to do. Okay. Tingnan natin. Labas tayo ulit. Kailangan kasi matrigger natin yung event na yun eh. Pasok tayo mat yung parlor tapos labas ulit. So balik tayo doon. Tingnan natin kung magti-trigger. Mas importante yan kesa yung yung missions eh. Okay. May sasabihin kaya sa atin si Auntie Chang. No time for runners now. I have other business to attend to. Okay, fine. Balikan natin si Gobbet. Pag wala na siya doon sa room niya, yun ang importante. Nice avatar, that's a good look on you. Isn't it? I've spent months customizing this avatar. She feels more real to me than my own skin. You really feel at home in the Matrix, don't you? You look happy in there. I suppose that I am. It's a comfort thing. As long as I'm jacked in, I can be whoever I want to be. Whatever I want to be. Pasaway. Out there in meat space, I usually feel uncomfortable in my own skin. The avatar offers you a lopsided smile. I'd probably just live in here if I could. Sounds nice, doesn't it? But it'll never happen. I've heard about deckers who've tried it. It never turned out well. Dehydration is a bad way to go. Nasa kanya yan. I know, and of course, I was joking. But truth be told, I do spend most of my time out there, wishing that I were back in here. Okay, You're a decker. You must know what I'm talking about. The freedom of it. It's hard to live in a cage of meat when you know how sweet it feels to leave your body behind. Okay, I've got to go, Isabel. Medyo, ano na eh, hindi na comfortable yung pinag-uusapan sa topic eh. Okay. May lesson pa? O, tapos na. Wala na yata. As you enter Gobbet's cabin, two things grab your attention. The first is Gobbet herself. She looks exhausted, bleary-eyed. The easy smile that you've come to associate with her is nowhere to be seen. The second is what she's doing. Gobbet appears to be in the middle of a valiant attempt to stuff a whole roasted duck into a saucepan, half its size. The bird's rubbery neck flaps from side to side with every heave of her shoulders. She looks up from the saucepan, blinking. A corner of her mouth twitches upwards, but the half smile falls away almost immediately. Oh, oh, hey, Seattle. Caught me at a bad time. I was just making dinner. Yeah, it looks that way. Wouldn't that work better if you cut it into smaller pieces first? Compressed duck, it looks delicious. I've been watching the struggle. It looks like the duck is winning. Ito na lang. Huh? She blinks down at the duck, and her mouth drips into a frown. Yeah, that'd probably be smarter, wouldn't it? I'm not really thinking clearly today. I'm ready for my next lesson. You feeling okay? You don't look well. And ito, nasabi natin na ito. You feeling okay? You don't look well. She rubs the bridge of her nose with a pair of greasy fingers, leaving smudges of duck fat behind. It's weird. Ever since our last lesson, I felt, I don't know, preoccupied with the sinking ship. Yun nga, kailangan natin gawin yung quest na yan eh. I don't really do the whole haunted by the demons of my past thing. I mean, that's fine for some people, but I'm allergic to drama. Generally, when thoughts of the past get me down, I remind myself that it doesn't matter. Laugh it off and go have a snack. But this, I don't know, it's weird. Ever since our last lesson, I haven't been able to get the sinking ship out of my head, out of my mind. Kaya nga, kailangan puntahan natin yun. May quest ka dun eh. She looks down at the pot full of mangled duck on the counter, closes her eyes. I guess I'm just worried about Cad and Mal, which is weird because why would I be? I mean, I haven't even spoken to them in years. Hell, if anything, they should be worried about me. I'm the one who gets shot at for a living. Maybe we should go check it out. The sinking ship isn't far, is it? You ain't wrong there. So stop worrying about it already. At ito. Kailangan ko yung may quest ka para dun eh. No, I don't wanna do that. At least not without a good reason. It would be awkward. And I'm sure that it's nothing anyway. Actually, check that. I know what this is. It's my own personal version of the same thing that we're all feeling. The psychic sewage that's been dredged up in all of us by whatever is happening in the world city. Andali lang guys. Okay. I'm sure that you had some flashes of memory from the barrens in your bad dreams, right? Images from your past come back to haunt you, but you aren't gonna drop anything and go running back there because that would be dumb. So tell me, why should I? Because the sinking ship is like 15 minutes from here. It couldn't hurt to check. You're right, you shouldn't. So quit making excuses and forget about it. Ata. Look, I don't want to go back there if I don't have to. If thinking about the place is enough to mess with me like this, I don't wanna know what being there will do. But I'll tell you what. I'll drop Malvina a line just to check in. Make sure that this is a me problem and not a them problem. And if there is something going on, I promise you, we'll be the first to know. You'll be the first to know. Alright, Gobbet, if that's the way you wanna play it. Good, great. Can we stop talking about it now? Ito na. It is. Now, was there anything else that you wanted, or can I get back to my duck? Okay, thanks. Yeah, sure. And Seattle, everything will be fine. You'll see. If there is anything fishy going on the sinking ship, you and Ilse will be the first to know. I promise. Okay. Konti na lang. Matitrigger na yung event. Mga kailangan na lang yata talaga lumabas. Okay, so teka. Isang ano pa? Isang exit pa. Mas kailangan ko yun kasi kesa unahin ko yung isang quest eh. Okay, pasok tayo dito sa ano. Kay ano ba to? Yung seller ng ano pangalan nun? Ito yung dito sa ano. Ito muna. Kasi balik tayo sa labas ulit. Teka. Crafting shoe. Hello, anyone home? Crafty, you in? Pizza delivery. A heavy scent buffets your senses. The scent of pure, unadulterated woody, musky, dusty. The light herbal incense from before seems like an afterthought in the wake of paper smell. Looking around, you see that the shopkeeper has abandoned her earlier feeble attempts at organizing the text. Several of the towers of books are now reduced to piles on the ground. A piece of paper cut somewhere in a ceiling rafter rustles gently above you. Crafty, you in? You hear a shuffling of papers. An arm rolls out from under a pile of blankets and books, and Crafty raises her head. A notebook spread open on top of it. The book topples to the floor. Oh, hey! Her voice cracks. Crafty clears her throat with a cough and stumbles out of her pile. Her voice is clear when she speaks again. Sorry about the mess. I was up all night reading, or rather, up every night reading. She stretches. Let me see what you're saying. You look dog tired. Feeling all right? So what's the latest? Ito na lang. Crafty lets out a single sharp laugh. I've been better if that's what you mean. Going through these notebooks has been hard. Not just because of the sheer amount of information. It's been a nostalgic ride too. Why don't you take a break? Maybe you should try doing something else for a while. If these journals are kicking your ass, you can always stop. Your health comes first. Ito na lang. No way, I've dug myself too deep to back out now. And I don't say that as a bad thing. I've made progress. I'm proud of that. He leans on a book-covered chair. The sooner I figure out these dreams, the sooner I can rest. And trust me, Tank, I'll make up for it in spades and naps. Just not work yourself to death. If that's your plan, remember to pace yourself. You won't get anything done if you become sick. I've no doubt your determination will get you through this. Ito na lang. You make a good point. I appreciate the advice, but don't worry, it's not a total slog. These journals are just as exciting as they are ludicrous. Laborious. Laborious pala. Let me see what you're selling. So what's the latest? I'll let you get back to it. Sounds like a plan. See you soon. Okay. Balik na tayo sa sa Kraken. Kailangan kasi umalis si Isabel, si Gobbet eh. Tingnan natin kung matitrigger natin. Hindi pa rin yata. Okay, I've got to go, Isabel. Wala pa, hindi pa natin ma-trigger eh. Diba? Hey, Seattle. I'm not really in the mood to hang out right now. Heavy stuff going down, you know. I'll be fine, but for the time being, I'd rather be alone. We'll talk later though. Okay. Wala na tayong magagawa. So, kailangan natin gumawa ng quest, muna. Kailangan natin gumawa ng run. Okay. Okay, gawin natin yung isa. Hindi pa pwedeng deckon kasi may kulang pa eh. Unahin natin to. At least konti na lang matitrigger na. Save it natin. Check ko lang ang time natin. 4 minutes na lang pala. Okay. Start natin yung start natin to, tapos pagdating doon sa area, save na natin. Jomo. Captain Jomo is busily playing some kind of gambling game on his comlink. It beeps and flashes as he taps away. Come on, Jomo, win, not lose. Maybe buy yourself that new hat. Naglalaro na Ano yan? Dito? Ano yan? Mobile Legends? He doesn't appear to have noticed you at all. The game makes a sad, defeated noise. Jomo curses under his breath, nose wrinkling in disgust. Finally, he seems to notice you. Stupid game. Always it cheats me. Never a good hand. Card game. Baka yung Pusoy Dos. Now, kindly Chang sends you. Yeah. You need Captain Jomo to take you to play pirate? Head to the MV Naichi. That's right. Okay. Sasama ko sila ulit. Okay, Isabel. Sama natin para lang maiba. Sama natin si Raptor. Tapos si Gobbet. Ayan. Pagdating natin doon sa area, end na natin. Tagal ah. Okay. Whistleblower. The ride out to the Naichi is nerve-wracking. Captain Jomo seems an expert pilot, but massive waves threaten to scuttle his small boat at every turn. Deep thunder rolls in the distance, and at the edge of your vision, lighting occasionally illuminates your target, the MV Naichi. As Jomo pulls your small craft directly up to the bow of the Naichi, where you're least likely to be spotted, he throws a rope ladder up over the side, hustling you aboard before pulling away. Time to get to work. Okay. Save natin dito, teka. Set up natin yung natin, gamit. Yung sa akin, okay na. Itong si Isabel, kailangan niya ng revival item. Okay. Itong si rin, kailangan din si Duncan. At least ito may revival. Bigyan natin siya ng isa lang. Ayan. Okay, go. Climbing onto the foredeck of the Naichi, you pause to catch your breath. The cargo ship rolls and pitches with the waves that batter her sides, and rain assails the deck. Deep thunder rolls overhead. After a tense moment, waiting for the inevitable alarm klaxons, you hear nothing but the storm. Isabel looks over the edge of the ship, towards the rapidly direction Captain Jomo piloted his boat. That pirate really knows how to move that boat. I'm impressed. Gobbet nods, picking her teeth with a nail. I'm buying that guy a bottle of Old Man Cho's back deck hooch if we make it out in one piece. Fancy driving, boating, whatever you call it. We'll want to keep low and stay behind cover. We're exposed out here. When we move, let's do it fast. Ito na lang. XCOM, XCOM mechanics. Cover. Duck and cover. Isabel sights down her rifle into the darkness of the ship's deck. After a moment, she lowers the weapon and smirks. Looks good. Visibility is near zero, and the storm means no one will hear us coming. If we can stay out of sight, we should be able to get below decks without incident. If we do get spotted, I'm pretty sure they won't be able to radio for help. They'll have to get to a wired alarm. As long as we keep them away from those alarms, we're golden. Fair point. Let's stay quiet and move quickly. We hit them hard and fast if we're spotted. Don't give them a chance to react. Ito sa tama. Isabel gestures towards a nearby computer readout. It appears to be unlocked, affording easy access. You know, I could probably hack into the ship's systems from that control box. Maybe we could get a better idea of what's going on with the ship. Good thinking. Maybe so. Let's look around a bit. Okay, good thinking. Okay. So, save na muna natin dito. Tapos, end na natin yung episode. Yung save. Okay. Hopefully, tapos itong mission na to, pag uwi natin, magti-trigger na yung event para kay Gobbet. Hopefully. Okay. Okay guys. Kaya Sean Velosa signing off. Next episode na lang ulit.